listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
To battle is to fight, to struggle, to overcome, and ultimately for the Marine Corps, it means to win. There is no alternative. It's not just a statement of intent. It's a promise to our nation. A promise kept for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
All right, folks.
Good morning. I'm Tony Marmo, and this is Thunder Thursday.
Oh my God, he took that right away from you. It's like what? I mean, he had that plan too. You had that plan.
No, I've been beating you every time you're not around for a long time.
And this is Guy Greco. So we're here, and you're there, and what's going on? What's going on?
Everything's going on. You got your Italian Fest coming up this weekend.
Yep.
We got coming up very quickly the Happy Christmas Fund.
Right,
I
November 4th.
tell you, I'm very excited about that. I really want to participate more and garner some funds as best I can.
Yeah. You can shake down some people if you want.
I'm not a shaker downer.
I got some shakedown letters if you need them.
I'm a downer, but not a shaker downer. What's that?
Lawrence, I got some shakedown letters if you need them. And I'm happy to report, Tony, we got our first
contribution
in on Tuesday.
Nice,
very nice.
And so we've already started collecting, and we're not even about a month away.
Melinda Gates, maybe.
Yeah, I heard she might give some. Is she going back to her maiden name or? Because Gates seems to have some.
What was her maiden name? Gold Digger?
Oh. No, they were married pretty young, though, right?
No, they were.
They were married young. They had no idea what was going to happen.
I'm sorry.
Actually, no, I'm not. This is why I've spent my entire life intentionally not being successful in any fashion at all. So I'm sure that my wife didn't marry me
for your money.
So it's legit. So it's a legit marriage, is what you're saying.
Right.
Beyond any doubt, she didn't marry me for my money.
No, silver lining in this thing for anybody.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing? I feel like, were you not on last month? I think I've wanted to.
I did. No, I did. I missed last month.
It's been 2 months, man.
I had a ailment, but
no,
I've been playing a lot of guitar.
No kidding.
I got an outdoor concert. I got an outdoor concert this
back?
weekend. Got gigs the next 3 weeks, actually.
Wow.
When I'm in Kingston, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be, but I think the 17th we're at Keegan's. But
oh, yeah?
Playing a concert.
Who's the we?
B-Boys, playing a concert at
it's
Wyndham.
back together, that group?
It is, and we added Kim Nicholas on trumpet, who just knocks me out.
Okay.
Man, he is a trumpet-playing fool.
Yeah?
Yep.
So
he sure is.
That's good. Well, you guys always had horns in that, didn't you?
Always did. But Kim is he's a wonderful addition to any band, and he's playing with a few bands. But he's a schooled cat. He's a professional musician. Been doing this his whole life.
I want to say
been in any band that you've heard of with brass, most likely.
I want to say he used to work at Kingston Hospital a long time ago, 100 years ago. You ask him that. He might have. I think I remember that name.
You're not the boss of me.
I'm not the boss, but I'm just curious. I'm curious. The name is very familiar, and I think he worked there and was a music. And now, by the way, this is back.
I didn't know you had musicians at the hospital, or I would have applied.
Well, we
Trumpet's
try
a little loud in
entertain the
hospital.
patients a little
Trumpet's
bit.
a bit, maybe use that mute, which is a really cool thing.
Oh man, so yeah, all is good. All is good. What else is going on in the Planet, Daily Planet?
Well, I changed my job within Mid-Hudson Valley.
Okay,
To
that's
mortgage originator. I am not there yet. I'm learning. Don't worry. If I were to, when I get to the point where I do take your mortgage, it's not like you're taking a flyer on me for $350,000. I'd
Right,
make sure
exactly.
everything was right.
Things are still pretty hot in that real estate market.
That's
your
a
opinion?
comparative statement. Probably
Yeah.
not compared to what they were 6 months ago, but
Right.
certainly compared to what
Things are going
the
good.
average is.
Values are staying pretty firm.
I
or
don't know if
dipping
there's
a
as
little
many
bit?
bidding wars as there was. There was a point there where it was nuts.
crazy.
Nuts. It
Yeah.
was really crazy.
Yeah.
People were buying homes that they'd only seen on the internet and
Yeah.
weren't having them inspected or appraised. And
Right.
that's crazy town.
Yeah, but the housing market is still really super tight. So I would think,
is.
Rentals are tight. So if
Inventory's down,
tight, so I think if interest rates hang around where they are, do you see any reason that they're going to?
They're talking
Scoot
about
up a bit?
Well, I mean, I don't know any more than anybody else, but in the
Right.
news they're talking about that they might have. They were saying at one point they were going to adjust for 2 or 3 years, and now they're sort of hedging that. They want to fight some inflation,
they're
I guess. I don't know how all that works.
historic.
We'll ask. Who's Bill on today?
Bill is not on. The Italians are on.
Oh, Italians know money. We'll ask some Italians about money. They'll know.
They'll know about mortgage rates.
Yeah.
No problem whatsoever. Yeah. So Elliott Auerbach is coming on. I don't think he's going to be in the studio. My guess. He thought he might be in the studio,
Right.
but I think he's going to call in.
Now,
for
when
sure.
he calls in, does the chauffeur just dial the number and
I think so.
Then
Yeah,
connect Elliott?
I think so. It's be good, Lawrence. No, I'm sure Elliott drives himself, or he might drive others. I don't know.
Well, I think the last time I was on with Elliott, I asked him about his chauffeur, and he would neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. Well,
That guy gets a lot of miles in.
he does.
A lot
He does.
of miles.
He does. So then at 8:00, Anna Brett, who's a festival chair, Italian festival chair, is coming on along with President Les Lombardi, and so then at 8:30 it's Lisa Berger, and
That's great.
I think Lisa is so low.
What do you mean she's so low?
Not so
What
low.
a terrible thing to
It's so
say
low.
about Lisa.
So low.
I don't think
so low.
Lisa, I apologize for Tony Marmo. Now I'm sorry that
So
I
low.
pretended to be him. Makes me
No,
feel
because
shamed
usually
and
she
dirty.
tells us if she's bringing a guest, and I
Just say that she's coming alone, for crying out loud. Don't cast aspersions.
What's an aspersion? I don't,
Calling somebody so low.
oh man, there's a lot of material there, but we're on the radio, so we can't
That's right.
really do too much of it.
I wonder does anybody have, do we do Arbitron or whatever? Do we have any idea of the size of our listenership?
Oh, absolutely.
We do?
No.
So here's what I was thinking this morning. I got up what seems like very early, probably not for you because you're that guy. You probably get up all happy which is, that's envy. If there's any,
When I'm done sleeping, I get up. I mean,
if
that's how
that's
it goes.
dripping with attitude for me, it's
Yeah.
just envy. That's what it is. It's plain and simple. But I got to say that when I got up this morning, I had a radio station on. I can't do anything without music. Not well, anyway. By the way, a great way to wake up. I woke up to Someone Loan Me a Dime by Boz Scaggs with Dwayne
Nice.
Allman on guitar from the
Nice.
late 60s.
So that's your alarm is music? You set
No,
your
that's
alarm?
what I do, and that's
I
what I
used to
listen
do
to in
that.
the shower when I go to
In the
bed.
shower?
My alarm is my phone at this
Wow.
point.
Is the music in the shower, the radio or whatever it is?
Yeah, it hangs on the wall. It's not in the shower, but it hangs on the wall of the bathroom. It's got two nice speakers. It's a decent stereo. So,
In your
but what
shower.
I thought was, my first thought was, wouldn't it be nice if I woke up and you were already on the air? So if you could start the program around 5 and I roll in at 7.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be hearing Boz Scaggs then.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'd be hearing my man.
some
though.
dribble.
And you don't mind coming in at 5, do you?
I don't, man. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning.
Oh
I
my
went back
God!
to bed.
Were you really up at 5?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
wake
used to
up.
be, but it was because I was still up. I didn't get up at 5.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I get like 6 or 7 hours, and I'm good to go, pretty much.
Well, I mean, the other issue is then the listenership would have to get up 2 hours earlier.
When I first started with KCR, the show started at 6 o'clock. We went from 6 to 9, a long time ago.
And how long have you been doing this?
Believe it or not, I've been doing this since it doesn't
20
show.
years.
20 years.
In February.
20 years?
Yeah.
20 years.
20
In February of 2002, right, Tony?
Mm-hmm.
Are you having any kind of celebration for the 20th year? 2 decades?
Yeah, we're going to get a keg, and you're going to do a keg stand.
You say a keg or a cake?
a keg.
A cake. In your case, we're getting a cake.
Right.
So you mentioned something as I was walking out about Arbitron. They don't do Arbitron anymore. Nielsen does the ratings now.
Oh, the TV people now do radio.
And we figured out around 5 years ago, or somewhere right around before my dad died, that anywhere between 750 to around 1,250 people are listening at one moment.
Really?
So, well,
listen, I'm good.
That's an average, because when we get to 7:30, it'll be quite more than that. More people listen in their car, but they're only listening for an average of 15 minutes because they're going to work, they're going and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Other people sit at home that are retired or.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not qualified to entertain that many people on the radio.
Are.
I thought it was half a dozen tops.
Half a dozen.
Ronnie Jones and a few other people.
Right, some of your buddies. Yeah, no, it's pretty decent group.
And what do you think it is they tune in for? It's not this playful banter.
They listen.
The edgy stuff.
They want to hear about what's going on in the community, right? They want to hear about the different. Now, this is Monday through Friday. You're talking specifically about Thursday. What are they tuning in for?
Yeah, let's start there. Yeah,
you.
Well, I think you're going to have to adjust those numbers a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Maybe a couple, 3 dozen. That's about it.
Yeah, I'd be.
No, they're not tuning into you because you're a Cowboys fan. I can guarantee you that.
I don't think I've ever stated on the air I'm a Cowboys fan. We're living in your head.
We've talked about it on the air.
We're living in your head rent free.
No, we've talked about it on the air before.
I mentioned the Cowboys once and my feelings about the Giants. You didn't talk to me for 2 months.
Oh, that's not true.
Oh, it's pretty true.
Lawrence is mellowing.
He kept telling me I was number one in the mirror. I think that's what he was telling me.
Well,
yeah. So anyway, I get the privilege of uploading the shows, to YouTube, so folks can go on YouTube and watch our shows, going back pretty far, actually. And I'm amazed at, some of the guests we have, great, amazing guests, great subjects, a whole variety of different subjects from, Hugh and Mario do a great political thing. There's Medical Monday, and Cam and Nina have really great guests, not-for-profit, primarily historical society.
Can I come in Monday and talk about this rash? Maybe I get some help.
You could talk about it. I'm not sure anybody's going to fix it, but you can talk about it. And you'd have to stay 6 feet away while you're talking about it. I think the program is varied. It's interesting and, good guests.
I've met a lot of very interesting people doing this.
I think look, it's not, if you're looking for the music part and a whole bunch of commercials, we don't have.
That's why most people. That's what they want. Commercials
is exactly what people are looking for. So. Yeah, I think it's what it is. It's community radio. It's our elected officials coming on. Kevin Cahill's been on several times. He's in a regular.
I know Kevin my whole life, pretty much. But
the mayor comes on. We have our law enforcement day.
Yeah. Who does that? Joe?
No, that's Greg Chorvis and Fred Costello from Saugerties, the Saugerties contingent. But Sheriff Figueroa comes on. Our new state police. Nice Italian guy. Can't remember his name.
I can't imagine an Italian being on your show.
State police. No, he's a state police guy. And Chief Berardi, Chief Sinagra, Joe Sinagra.
Do you have anyone that's not Italian? Every name is Italian.
That's right. That's.
We live in an Irish and Italian community with some.
It is. I'm half Irish
with some Greek folks spread in and
Germans too. A lot of Germans.
Oh yes, that's true. There are a lot of Germans.
Yep.
Can you speak German, guy?
As well as I speak any of the other languages. Probably as well as I speak English at 7 o'clock in the morning.
So the 3 biggest ethnic populations in Ulster County are Italians, number 1, Irish, number 2, Germans, number 3.
Do you just make this stuff up?
I did not.
So again, it's Italians, Irish, Germans. Is the
this
big disparaging difference between the number of Italians and Irish? That's close?
No, very close. And I did this because when I started the Italian organization, I just, for the heck of it, wanted to see how many Italians. I'm not sure how that gets picked up through the census, quite frankly. Maybe it's, I don't know, through hospital records. I don't know. It's hard to understand.
So do you know what the...
So 19% of the population, Italian-American,
19%?
17% Irish. This was back in 2010, but adjusted to 2015.
All right, that's 36%. And then the
and
third
then Germans
category?
are like 15 or 14%.
All right, so you're half the population right there.
Those three.
I would like my Latvian brothers and sisters to start procreating and rise up in the community, as well as some. Look at the look.
Latvian.
Hey, we don't play that crap on this station.
Procreation.
We already have another station that goes way too far with it.
Yeah, right.
Procreation?
No,
No, the rise up thing.
No,
That's-
Latvian.
I see.
No,
it's not that I have a problem with it.
I
have
mean
a
to be
problem
counted
with
in
the way
the-
that it's run. I don't have a problem
To be
with
counted in
actual
the population is
organization.
what I'm talking
I have a problem with the way the organization is run in Kingston.
So
It's not run
here's
properly.
my.
I think
Thanks for bringing that
I
up.
might as well
Thanks
have
for
talked
raising-
about the Giants again. I'm back in the doghouse.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's true. I mean, we're a city of immigrants primarily. You know,
Yeah.
in this community, it's they're all immigrated like in the 20s and 30s. A lot of them because of the brickyards and work and.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's we're all one of my
It's a great
Greek
place to live.
buddies likes to say una face una race, which means one.
Have a rotten face? Is
no,
that what that means?
That
My
means
Greek's rusty.
one face, one race.
Ah.
Face una race, one face, one race. There you go.
Now,
man.
do you speak Greek?
That's Italian, dude.
It is Italian. It's a
Do you
mix.
speak Italian?
Apparently he does.
I know words. I know words.
Well, then maybe that's not what that means at all. Maybe you shouldn't be saying it on the air.
Race and race. I mean, how it's
Face,
face and
I've heard.
race.
I don't know about Rache.
Wait, guy, aren't you Italian?
I'm half Italian.
Oh, you're half now.
And I'm half Irish. I don't speak Italian or Gaelic, as it turns out.
Oh my gosh! How about we talk about the Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union? And I'll tell
Let's
you
do
why.
that.
We're not going to ask you about the locations. However, what we are going to say is I have something really big. I saw Wayne Winkler
Yeah.
recently.
Yes.
Socks on.
It's probably your fault.
Really?
Yes, socks on.
Because I saw him in Lock Kennard about
No
I'd
socks.
say a month and a half ago. No socks.
I saw him at the chamber breakfast. Man,
Oh,
maybe it's chilly
that's
in the
probably
morning.
why.
Chilly in the
He's-
morning.
yeah.
His feet
Was
are
he
cold.
speaking at the chamber?
He was not. There was a big housing project, workforce housing or whatever they're doing by the old jail.
Did
on
you
Golden
comment
Hill.
on his socks at all? Or
I did.
his lack that you did?
Not publicly, but to his face.
And
I
how did he like that? Did he mention me like
He
I'm
did
going
not.
to kill Greco when
You
I
mean
see
the
him?
Ex-employee Guy
Right,
Greco.
I'm gonna- yeah. He better get better at being
Wayne is a
DJ.
gentleman of the first degree. That
This
guy
guy's
is.
gone.
He's as cool as the other side of the pillow.
He is
man.
indeed. And I think the branding of the no socks, which is relatively new.
Yeah.
It's not like he grew up with no socks and continued the condition. That's not the way it works.
No, and you got to wear good shoes for that. You can't wear
he
like
wears really good shoes.
like,
Skechers.
Skechers.
You can't wear Skechers in those
Skechers
socks.
are right there. Like I would say the Bruno Mollies, those Italian.
Italian, of course.
I don't know. Are
Of
there
course they're
Czechoslovakian
Italian.
shoes?
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
really
I have
sure.
no idea.
Yeah. So, and I
No, he's
met
great.
your chief operating officer, nice young man. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I want to
Chris
say
Gomez.
great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy, and a couple of your board members. So yeah, the credit
Did
union.
you put
had
in
a
a good
table.
word for me to
I
any of these
absolutely
people?
did. I absolutely did.
You were so
I wrote it on a piece of paper, folded it up, handed
right.
it to him,
With
crumpled
letters,
it up.
letters cut out of a magazine.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, look, you're big supporters of the community. You're big supporters of this
Credit
this
union
radio
is indeed.
station.
The credit union, you know,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
I'm sure that you know the story, but the amazing part of the credit union for me as an organization is this. We were exclusively an IBM Kingston employees credit union. That was the whole ball of wax.
Right.
They are the
That was
only
it.
accounts we had. They were the only
That's
accounts
why you
allowed
were
to be had.
founded,
They
right?
and
You were
they and
founded
their family. That's
to do
right.
that.
We were That's the only reason we were founded. I don't know what year, and I should, but I don't. But
65.
what happened was IBM obviously moved away. And for all intent and purposes, the credit union should have dried up and went away with it.
Right.
But we didn't. We thrived and grew and thrived and grew.
But a lot of the locals, the folks that worked at IBM, didn't want to go to Burlington, didn't want to go.
A lot of them got transferred. And keep in mind, there was another credit union right across the river that serviced the IBM that most of them got transferred.
Right.
But they stuck with it.
A lot of the same names.
And credit unions to this day, people assume that we have a secret handshake or you have to have something special to join. You just need to live, work, worship, go to school, volunteer,
or breathe
in any of our counties, and you can be a member.
Great. Let's take a call.
Sure.
Good morning, caller. You're on Thunder Thursday. What's your comment or question?
Okay, I'd like to make a comment. I've been a long-time listener.
Yes.
I used to listen when you were on at 6 o'clock in the morning.
You did? Wow.
And Orville Norman was on at the time, too.
Yes. 6 o'clock.
So, like I said, I've been a long-time listener, and I really
thank you.
Enjoy the show very much, and that's why I keep listening every day, and it's very informative. We hear about a lot of different things that's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of information shared, and people get an opportunity, like you're doing right now, to call in and talk to Kevin Cahill or Mayor Steve Noble, Assembly Member Cahill. So
thank you very much.
You don't get that opportunity on any radio stations around here that I know of. Usually they're all recorded, and if they're live, they don't take phone calls. So
no, it's really good. And then too, if we need to announce something, we're able to do that.
Exactly. It's the station was put together by Walter Maxwell and. With the concept of the community. That's why that's in the name. So, everyone's proud to be part of this great family, KCR family, and we have a big fundraiser coming up on November 4th, and that's how we stay on the air and keep this ball rolling. It's it'd be nice if somebody dropped a couple of $1 million on us in their will, but that's not happening.
I don't know why you're looking at me. I don't have a will or a couple of $1 million.
I'm sorry. No, they get a lot of pledges in, and the people, they make the pledge, and they send it in. Sometimes they forget, and they have good intentions and all. So
absolutely. When you pledge, that means you got to pay.
You got to pay,
that's,
right?
That's what a pledge means.
It should be announced,
right?
Every day too. What you got in, and sometimes that helps.
Right.
People remember, so.
And we want to thank the Boyce family for, supporting this for, I don't know, has it been there for 55 years, Lawrence, at Boyce's, or not?
Oh, God, no.
No, like 25 or 30 maybe, though. For as long as I can remember, it's been at Boyce's.
Probably like 15, maybe.
Well, I'm trying to think when I started.
They used to be at Stewart's.
Okay,
and then they did it every weekend. My mother was explaining this for the longest time. It was at 82 John Street.
Oh.
As I was a little kid, they used to give the rest of the sales team off. There'd be like 6 people answering the phones.
Yeah, well.
And anyway, to make a long story short, then Stewart started going dollar for dollar with us. Then we were going there. I remember my father was doing it every Saturday. They would do a live remote from a different Stewart's around Kingston.
Oh, that's cool.
Then that ended because I don't know why, it was something to do with a name thing with the Stewarts. So I think we went to Dysing's for a couple years, or maybe just 1 year. And then he worked out a deal with Sally, and we've been there ever since.
I want to say, since I've been doing the show since 02, 03, I'm pretty sure it was. I never remember going anywhere other than Boyce's.
Right, so maybe then when they, when they sold when they sold all the radio stations in '99.
That could be. That could be.
That's probably when they started going there, or maybe they were still going to Stewart's then. That was '99.
Look, I can remember your dad.
My mom's got the timeline.
Yeah, Evelyn's still. So I remember your dad bringing around this. It looked like a TV antenna off a house.
Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to get that anymore.
Well, we were missing one back then.
Yeah, so that was probably the Greco.
No, this thing was, and we had to mount it on the.
I know, near a window.
We used to do remotes at the Hollywood Cafe when it opened, and I used to have to. I was part of the setup team with, the DJ would go there. They would have, we'd be there all night at the door. The beam would be outside with the lights on. To set up for that event.
No, it took
just to get the antenna on the right part of the roof to catch the signal back on John Street. That took like an hour. So that now after they sold the radio station, they didn't have their own antenna anymore. We used to have to drive down to Pendle Road in Poughkeepsie, get the thing, and then go back there the next day. Now I have a little box that the one that sits on the table. I plug that into a phone line.
Yeah.
I call Dan here. He picks it up on the same line that Evelyn's on right now. and then he just adjusts the mic and
Yeah,
and now it's
just,
good.
But
it's so much easier. I mean, and so what they used to do at Boyce Brothers is my father was like, "Oh, we got to get on the roof." I'm like, "Dad, you can't get on the roof.
Well, you're the
then
young
you got
guy.
to climb up there in
Lawrence,
the middle of the night to get because when you go to Boyce Brothers in the morning, it's dark out.
Yeah.
Just when you set up. No, it's because it's November. It's in the beginning of November. When you
Right.
leave at 5 o'clock at night, it's dark out. So you climbing on the roof of Boyce Brothers to get an antenna off.
Right, not a great idea.
Yeah.
I remember when he did remotes, your dad and Orville did remotes at Kingston Hospital. I mean, in our cafeteria. And people, we would interview some of the staff. I mean, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And I was working there at the time.
And
obviously,
actually, that box that's right there that you see,
Yeah.
that's the Marty that used to be in the back. That's what you need to send the signal.
Yeah.
You got to have you have to have a
thing
thing to
looks like
send
it's
the
from
signal
1972,
to the tower.
man. How old is that thing?
Older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is old.
So
And it also
19
weighs about 400 pounds.
72, I'm going to say. 70 something.
Yeah, that's all
And it just
tube
got- it
stuff.
just-
There's
You know
no-
what? The fan just broke on it when we moved in here.
No, no kidding.
And when the guy came and replaced it, the guy that built this whole thing, he's like, "That's the original fan that's in there from like 1955." I'm like, "Get
Right.
out of here!"
Right.
That's how
crazy.
they built things back then, forever.
Yeah, so Happy Christmas Fund, November 4th at Boyce's. You can go online. Go online and we'll go on our mykcr.org. There's a Happy Christmas Fund tab there. You can check. You can click on that. We also do have a modern Venmo account. It's
That's great.
under Lawrence's name, and so that will electronically transfer funds into KCR, into Happy Christmas Fund, and that's an easy way to do it. That eliminates pledging. You can just, put whatever, $25, $10,
Couldn't be easier.
$100.
50 cents.
Yeah. Guy
Anything you
Greco's
want.
case, 5,000. Something.
Or just put $100,000 in,
Just
and
don't
we
tell
don't
Alma.
even have to
You
go
mean
on
in
the
my
floor.
honor, not in my case. Somebody's willing to do that in my honor. That would be great.
We've taken our vacation money and donated it to KCR this year.
It does not cost $5,000 to go to Port Ewan and have a burger.
Right, that's right. My favorite place, the Rainbow, man. Frozen Rainbow.
Yeah.
Chuck Bouton's place, man. That place. is
My wife wants to do a cruise again.
A cruise?
She loved it, but I don't.
as in Tom Cruise, or
Yeah.
You should
Well,
talk
you-
to Bill Forte about cruises. He's been on about 38 of them.
Is that right?
He knows
I know
all the
Billy
good ones
forever.
to go to, the best ones with the best food, with the
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
good bang
Gotta
for the
tell
buck.
you, the
This guy's
Norwegians got
he's
incredible
the cruise
food, I
master.
know
He's
that.
like Meryl Steuben. Is that his name?
close enough. That's from the Love Boat.
Oh,
Is that
That's his name, right? That was the
Stubing.
actor's
I
name?
think Captain's.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's
Meryl,
good,
Meryl
Lawrence. I
Steuben.
didn't know that guy's. Forgets it.
I'll have to ask Bill about that.
Well, this is why people listen to this radio because they hear interesting.
That's his name, Meryl Steuben. The captain.
Yeah, the captain on a Love Boat. He's right.
Listen, I'm not sure why you're yelling at me this morning so much. It's my understanding there'd be no math.
Well,
So-
we appreciate folks listening.
So she wants to go on a cruise, and I'm it's fine, but
I don't
just
see-
keep thinking about that one ship when the pandemic they couldn't find a port.
Yeah.
You
That's
remember
Gilligan.
Was that after
That's
during the
Gil-
pandemic?
Yeah,
or-
it's all around the world. Ended up in
TV still,
Vietnam
I'm
or
sorry.
somewhere. I don't know where it ended up.
Vietnam.
I'm not sure that it happened.
We're
to me,
talking
but-
about the one that was on the never-ending journey because
Yes.
they all had COVID.
Yeah.
And it was
Oh,
like it was a Norwegian cruise line,
Yeah, yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Yeah, and that's where we're going.
I think they made it back to port, guy.
Not in the United States, they didn't.
Well, whatever. I'm
They-
sure they're
they
on.
were
land.
on-
I'm sure they're still not at sea
They
though.
they are. There's to this day.
So Alma is really the cruise. She
She's
likes
the vacation person.
All right, she sets that
decides
up.
where, she
And
consults me,
Sounds like
but
you're
I'm
going on
happy
a
to go
cruise.
anywhere. I don't care. I don't care where we go.
You're- and
I
you're
love
happy-
the cruise we went on.
There's like a 24/7 buffet there, right?
And,
on those.
and right, again, with the food, it's the booze I go for.
That too.
Don't slander me with food.
All that food, but the only thing you got to pay for is the gambling. I hear. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and listen, the gambling's
Gambling is
funny.
not good though,
It's
right?
Well,
funny.
That's where they
It's
get you.
funny
The odds
to
are not
gamble.
What else
good.
is there to do out in the middle
odds
of the
are-
sea?
Well, if you play machines, they're one price in port, and then as soon as
Right.
the boat pulls out, the price goes up for your minimum bet. And I noticed, and I know I shouldn't, again, with the aspersions, but
Yeah.
I'm sitting at a poker table playing, and I noticed the dealer doing this over, and I'm like,
Because you have like,
Hey, what are you doing? Do you have a nervous tick?
Yeah, right, exactly.
It seems like you're. I just didn't like
Joey Gallo.
I didn't like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So I figured you were kind of the guy that was reading books and on the exercise machines and like running around the deck.
Mocking, always with the mocking.
What cruise did you go on? What was it? Norwegian or was
Norwegian Gem is what we went.
Okay, so then that leaves from New York City,
New York.
and then you go south, right?
Yeah, went to Florida, Bahamas.
So was it 10 days, and
Bermuda?
then four at sea?
Yeah.
4 at sea, and then 6 docked somewhere? Or?
No, we were never docked for 6. We had to dock an extra night because the water was choppy and we couldn't go. They have their own island.
Are they handing out Dramamine if the water is a little choppy?
I didn't feel it in the ship. It's these things are.
And
as
the
big as
amenities
a
were
city.
nice?
Oh, they're incredible.
Yeah?
The food was incredibly good. The scotch
You could eat
tasted
lobster,
just like the
filet
scotch.
mignon, anything you wanted? Or
anything you wanted, as much of what you
good,
wanted.
right?
They had a Benihana is there. They had a fantastic Italian restaurant. They had pretty much anything you would want.
Really? And
Yeah,
enough
and
to cater everybody? You never had to sit online or nothing like that?
No, never online once.
Really?
For anything.
Pools and everything, right?
Pools, theaters. They
Really?
had live bands all the time, which were fantastic. Some of the bands were just fantastic.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, Lawrence, let's go to break, and we're going to come back hopefully with Elliott Auerbach.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas for Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used furniture, building materials, and appliances to the public at a fraction of the retail cost. The Ulster County Restore at 406 Route 28 in Kingston needs your donations. Call our hotline at 845-853-7499 to schedule your free pickup. And thanks.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? By shifting to a system that gives more patients access to strong primary care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
Screening exams for breast, lung, or colorectal cancers are necessary to detect and treat disease at its earliest, most curable stage. But you may have some concerns and questions. Answer your questions and ease your fears by visiting radiologyinfo.org. In addition to information on screening and wellness, you'll find more than 200 descriptions of radiologic exams, procedures, and treatments to help you prepare. Get informed and be prepared. Visit radiologyinfo.org, produced by the Radiological Society of North America and the American College of Radiology.
Hi, this is Winnie from the Rosendale Seniors, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by the First Savings Bank in Ulster County that still remains local to this day. Ulster Savings Bank, a community bank that's invested in local business, invested in community, invested in you. Ulster Savings Bank, your one-stop resource for everything local. Locations throughout the Hudson Valley and online at ulstersavings.com. Member FDIC.
I want you to get... All right, so we're back on, and this is Thunder Thursday.
Yep.
This is Tony Marmo. And
this is the guy with Tony Marmo.
Used to be the guy.
The guy with Tony Marmo. That's who I am.
So you're looking at my to-do list for the logistics.
I was looking at your to-do list, and I've also commented that you're relegating me to be the beneficiary, if you will, of all the fat
food
jokes,
Food
of
jokes?
all the food jokes and fat jokes of the station, like the official mascot. And I want to say, I get it, because I know that when you were going to have that outdoor show, you wanted me there. I thought it was for my personality and possibly talent. But what you said it was for was shade. You wanted me there to cast a little shade on.
There's a spaghetti eating contest at the Italian festival around 2 o'clock. So you probably would be excellent at that. So there's 3 pounds of spaghetti. We play.
3 pounds.
We play.
One person eats 3 pounds of spaghetti.
Well, everyone gets 3 pounds, and then no utensils. You could use your hands. We play some, Dean Martin song, "When the Moon Hits Your Eye Like a Big
3 pounds
Pizza
of
Pie."
spaghetti. Oh, I see.
And then at the end of the song, whoever has
Amore is the song, by
close
the way.
enough. Whoever has consumed the most by weight, because we weigh what's left, right, is the winner. And it's about 5 minutes of eating spaghetti, 3 pounds.
Nobody
You
can
can
eat
do it.
3 pounds of spaghetti in 5 minutes.
So it's 6 minutes. It's 6 minutes. But, I think the winner.
I'm not.
No, the winner last year, I think, ate 2 pounds.
Yeah,
or
that's
2 years
still-
ago.
That's a lot of spaghetti.
2
And then
pounds
what do you
of
do?
spaghetti?
Put them on the rides? Is that what's next after that?
We don't have rides.
Oh, well, I could see why.
Well, we could take them for a little car ride, but,
I see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, So anyway, Elliott Auerbach, the debonair one, is on his way in the studio.
right on cue. His chauffeur dropped him off right on cue. Elliott,
He
how
doesn't
are you?
have a chauffeur.
Nice to see you.
What's up, big guy? Good to see you.
The show is degenerating into babble and
incoherent.
I'm ready to go on a cruise. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's go, baby.
Listen
Let's
to all
go.
this cruise talking here. Well, good morning. Good morning,
guys.
guys.
It's great to see you.
A little foggy coming in from the wilds of Ellenville.
Yep.
School buses, bridge construction, you name it. That was today's fare. So
we're glad you came in.
Well, I'm glad to be here. You know, it's
we haven't
nice
seen you in a while, man. It's good.
We've been getting out and about. I mean,
Good.
things seem to be slowly returning to normal.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, so it's exciting, and I couldn't pass up this opportunity to be with 2 of my favorite Thursday morning people.
There you go. There you go.
And what are you still going around helping with the disbursement of the funds? Is that what's going on, or is that all?
I'm like Santa Claus. I mean,
well, yeah, right.
Every mayor is happy to see us. I mean, we're working closely with the 900 plus towns, the 500 plus villages, 60 something counties, all the cities. I mean, all of the federal funding in the first tranche is out, and there's going to be a second tranche of money coming out next year. Believe it or not, and this we still are sort of shaking our head over this, there were a few communities that didn't put in an application to get money.
Now that's first of all, right off the bat, those elected officials should resign.
And to the point where there was follow-up, hello, do you want, that kind of a thing. So
I wonder what was their rationale. We're not taking free money from the federal government. That's taxpayer money to begin with.
I don't know, Tony. There's so many local. Well, no, I wouldn't even call it. There's so many different local governments throughout the state with so many different elected leaders who have just different views. But
And this is a very small portion, I'm guessing?
Oh, yeah, tiny. I think our what we call our non-entitlement units, which aren't the big cities that get their monies directly from the feds, I think we did about 1,450.
And how many of those would you say said no thank
so
you?
I'm going to say, I'm going to say, less than 2 dozen. That kind of thing.
Still a surprising number.
It is, and so, look, I mean, with money comes obligation. There are certain, measures that have to be put into place. The money can't be spent foolishly and wantonly, and I'm sure you're going to be reading about elected officials who spent money foolishly and wantonly.
Going on a cruise, let's say.
Time frame
3 years down. Well, there's I believe a 5-year window to spend it. So we're not talking, but there's consistent reporting, and the reporting is mostly between the local government and the feds, which is great for us because it sort of takes us out of the picture, although we have the audit responsibility eventually down the road. But quite honestly, it's exciting to see. Comptroller DiNapoli and I spent 2 weeks ago. We spent some time with all the mayors of New York State and met with them just to hear their concerns, what issues are going on. How folks are facing the challenge. Today, we are releasing a report online, which I'm very excited about, doing a case study of 3 municipalities in the Hudson Valley and how they responded to the COVID crisis. It's remarkable. I call them profiles in courage.
Yeah.
One of the municipalities is the village of New Paltz. So Mayor Tim Rogers and his team, and what they did as a small government to respond to the crisis that they faced. The town of Cornwall. Dick Randazzo, who's the town supervisor there, and the city of Peekskill. So we took a city, a town, and a village, and we wanted just to
highlight
how did you guys react when the wave hit you?
Right.
And then what did you do during the course of that 18-month period to keep the lights on? You know, I think of the Tim Rogers story and the town and the village of New Paltz, and people don't realize it, but the village sells water to the college.
Mm-hmm.
The college was closed.
Right.
What happens to that shortfall of revenue? Do you follow what I'm saying? You know, things like that. And how do you then go out and meet your obligations as a community, as a village, paying your street department, paying your municipal workers, meeting the needs of the community with garbage pickup or whatever it is. So, another great example is City of Peekskill, which is a commuting city into the metropolitan area, has city parking lots that were empty because people weren't commuting, which then in turn presented a revenue drop. You follow what I'm saying? So
I do.
And these are challenges.
Yeah. When you first mentioned New Paltz, my thought process was, well, it's closed, the college students aren't there, it's going to affect revenue a great deal, and retail, and I realized, college town or not, nobody was doing anything anywhere for a while. There was a shutdown point where, no one in retail was making any money.
Right.
Not everything was, it's, now I know that we had an overall disaster plan in New York, right?
Yeah.
Anything specifically?
It was called Andrew Cuomo. That was our
Oh, no. Oh, now. When it was hot in the news, I wanted to ask you, and I was getting
kicked. Guy when he's down.
Kicked under the table, not to bring it up. So now moving forward, is there something, I'm sure there's a lot specifically that we learned, just in case it's not another 100 years to the next one?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were a number of things that we learned. The first thing that we learned is, again, I go back to the resilience of the elected officials and being able to work closely with them to allow them to have some flexibility. A simple thing like virtual meetings. Mm-hmm. We still kept government working. We still kept the public informed. We still allowed the transparency, but we learned that we can rely heavily on the digital side
communicate.
To keep that going. So those kind of things.
And I'm sure that's not true in every state. I got to tell you, I give New York State a lot of credit, and that's why I say it's like the John F. Kennedy profiles in courage. Hey, I'm a mayor of a small community, and some communities are very small. I mean, I see communities, villages that are under 1,000, maybe 300, 400.
How much?
Ellenville's 5,000, 4,900. No, but there, as I learn the state and become more familiar with it, there are tiny little communities tucked in all around New York State. Yeah. These folks didn't sign up for this. When so-and-so ran for mayor 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they didn't know that COVID was going to come. And
pretty sure the question didn't come up on the campaign trail either.
Right. What are you going to do when we have a pandemic?
That person probably ran to fire the dog catcher.
It's scary. It's scary. So to sit and have conversation with mayors from big cities and small communities several weeks ago was eye-opening for us. I mean, not that we haven't been communicative during the course of the last 18 months, but being able to sit around the table and just hear how they managed I think of the folks down on Long Island. You know, there's numerous small villages on Long Island there, and how they, you know, face the struggle of loss of revenue, of shutdowns, and then complicated most recently by hurricanes and floods. You know, so. It's interesting, and you know, we sort of look at our elected officials sometimes with, you know, like one eye, you know, half closed, but these folks really worked their butts off. I mean, they got up and kept things going. And
by the way, if they don't, there's an opportunity in November to change the jockey on the horse, so to speak.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
I mean, this is why we get out to vote, and that's coming up before KCR's Happy Christmas Fund. On November 4th is Election Day on November 2nd.
Right. I was very excited, by the way, guys, as I was driving in, to hear that we are now using Venmo.
Yes, we're very modern.
Yes.
By the way, I have another piece of breaking news from. This is very important.
Okay.
The winner of the Italian Festival Spaghetti Eating Contest ate 1.5 pounds. Leanne Marmo ate 1 1/4 pounds, came in second.
Wow.
There was no end to this.
Who was the winner?
Talent.
Who was?
I'm not sure who it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's not the guy who ate the hot dog.
Second place winner.
So I know the second place winner. Yeah.
Is that with sauce or without sauce?
With sauce. Wow. No utensils.
Excuse me, is there a glass of Pinot Noir on the side?
There is water, though.
To wash it down?
It's like Joey Chestnut, right?
Joey Chestnut, that's it. The hot dog, yeah.
In this case, it's a sausage roll. But
do you drape them in plastic or?
Little lobster bib. You get a little lobster bib and.
Great if they put on a hazmat suit. You know, little helmet there.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm not sure that I have any respect for a husband that says to his wife, "Get in there and eat 1.5 pounds of spaghetti and represent the family."
The first year, I think she did it. I think she came in next to last. I think she must have trained a little bit. And,
I don't believe this. I don't
actually,
believe any of
somebody
this.
did call the office and say, I'm interested in the spaghetti eating contest. Can you tell me what the requirements are?
And are there meatballs?
You have to weigh in at the beginning. You know, is there a medical doctor on?
We should be one on hand.
Yeah.
No, it's
no
easy.
meatballs, though, right?
Yeah.
No meatballs.
No meatballs. No.
And what number spaghetti was it? That's the question.
That's
important. We have to find that out too. You know,
thin spaghetti.
Right.
No, it's not like an angel hair. I don't know what the number is.
Oh, the things we do.
No, that's not a we thing, Elliott.
Yeah.
That's a him thing.
So out of the monies that have been bestowed upon, you know, these communities, in your mind, some of that money used to keep taxes in check, or is it used for projects, or what do you?
There's a simple answer to that. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, the feds have put out a series of guidelines on how the money can be used and what it can be used for. Again, there's a lot of ability to be creative, but along with that comes a full disclosure, you know, public hearings, those kind of things that go along with it. Understanding that the money is really there to offset whatever occurred during the course of the pandemic. And that I've seen one community use it to supplement some of their folks' salaries who have worked inordinate hours, you know, doing what they...
a bonus situation.
Right.
So if you embed it in the salary, then when that money goes away, then you're going to knock them back in the taxpayers.
Hello, and there's what we're trying to tell the mayors. We're saying, look, this is a one-shot, guys.
Yeah.
Don't go out and hire 15 people, and then, you know, 3 to 5 years from now, the money dries up, and you've got 15 salaries that you need to... So use that, you know, this is not hitting the lottery. And that's the other thing we're trying to talk to them about, not just us, the New York Conference of Mayors on the same page with us, the Association of Towns, the New York State Association of Counties. We're all in sync telling our folks, use a measured approach when this money hits your checking account, which it's hit already.
So would this be equivalent to the tax revenue that was affected by COVID, the shutdown, anything, or is it a much greater amount?
No, I mean, you know, there was a formula that was designed by the Division of Budget with the federal government in partnership, looking at these communities based on population. So let's say you have a town with a village in it, they extracted the number of village residents and use this formula to come up with the dollar amount. And that's another nice thing that I'm very happy about, is that we didn't have to do it. We were just Santa Claus. We just delivered the money. But DOB, the Division of Budget, spent a considerable amount of time coming up with the stats on it.
So, is there any instances where money might be returned if they?
Well, yeah. There's a possibility of that. I alluded to those communities that didn't participate. You know what they did? They took that sum of money that was initially earmarked for those communities, and they just divided that up and sent it out a second, a second wave of small dollars to municipalities. It's really interesting. Again, from a more granular level, there's accounting issues that need to be considered. There's budgeting issues that need to be considered. The phone, I have a professional standards unit that I work with that are fielding questions, not just from villages, towns, and counties, but from school districts as well, who enjoyed money. So what we do is we encourage any elected official to go onto our website, and you could Google OSC and end up finding it. And we put
OSC is
Office of State Comptroller. I'm sorry, and the comptroller's name, by the way, is Tom DiNapoli.
Bruce Springsteen, better known as the boss, right?
The boss is correct.
Boss.
We put out these guidelines online so that folks can go to them, understand what they need to do, how even where you park this money when you receive it budgetarily is a question that needs to be answered. So those are the kind of things that we're spending.
There's probably no end to the considerations and the oversight.
We call that job security.
There you go.
Let's talk about Ulster County for a minute, because obviously it's our backyard. Our listeners primarily live in Ulster County and perhaps in Dutchess. But, I think we've had a great track record in our county, and kudos to the elected officials for keeping our tax rate at the county level. Not talking about the school taxes that have gone out the roof, but
that compliment didn't last long.
Right. Oh, well, because it's the county that has done, I think, an excellent job in keeping the tax rates pretty, watching expenses. So I'm curious about what you think about the money that we're getting in Ulster County. Do you know anything that you can share with us?
All I can say from my observations of Ulster County is, number one, is you have a stellar county executive, somebody who I respect, somebody who comes into government and didn't grow up in government, which is refreshing as well. I think he's mindful and understanding of how best the money can be used to impact the greatest number of those 180,000 plus residents that live in Ulster County. I haven't spoken to Pat about exactly where he intends to place it, but he's got some big plans and a big vision. So I'm sure it's going to be well used. I know that, one of the big issues right now, and we've seen it across the state, has been helping people who are struggling to just survive on a daily basis. So I know that Pat had initially done, I believe it was a $500 a month program for supplement for families. So these are things. Look, guys, we jump in our car, we go to the gas station, fill it up with gas, we go to the grocery store, we buy groceries, put it in our refrigerator, we go home, we turn the lights on, turn the heat on, watch TV. We're very fortunate. There are people that are struggling. What happens if your business closed down and you were an employee, an hourly employee? What happens then? So
I 1,000% agree with that, but the other flip side of that is there's plenty of jobs in the Ulster community all over, plenty of businesses looking for people.
Right.
My piece about that is, if you're struggling, you can look online, you can look in the newspapers, you can look wherever you want. You can look at signs in windows that are saying hiring.
Let me ask you this, because that's your field, one of your fields of expertise, right? You're in the person.
Probably about it, but go ahead.
At one point you said you had, I think 70 was the number you gave me, right? At one point.
70
has
positions.
Has that changed? Has it gone down?
It's actually come down, but so there's a whole nother issue about why their workforce is so diminished, but I think businesses have learned to live with less, do with less. They've either cut production schedules, they've cut restaurant hours.
So you think what's come down is the ask, not that the jobs are being filled?
We know that the numbers.
Well, that's a little alarming.
But let me touch on something, Tony. And you know, you make a good point. There are opportunities out there, and there's plenty of opportunities. But again, let's dial back a second and let's think about. I'm a mom home with 2 little kids, and yes, I want to go to work, but how do I? Right. What do I do with child? Or I'm a dad who sees an opportunity to work at that $15 an hour job that's being offered out there, but I need transportation to get there. And you know, while Ulster County has tried and has successfully improved public transportation,
it's still
tough.
lacking.
It's tough in Ulster County. You're in Shandaken, baby. You're rolling down the hill. You follow what I'm saying?
I absolutely get it.
I am going to tell you guys, I see more people on bicycles lately, you know, going back and forth on 209.
Yeah.
And I know that they're going to and from work.
And what are they going to do 2 months from now?
Right, when the winter comes. Yeah. So that's the area. Yes, we've got this wealth of jobs.
That hasn't changed, Elliott, since the pandemic. We've always had our public transportation system because of rural county, it's never been gigantically great, okay? Childcare issues have always been out there. Housing issues have always been out there. So nothing really much has changed other than the pandemic has just flipped the whole script in terms of employment prospects, remote work possibilities.
And that's a big one. Now,
It is a big one.
How many people now have the option of working from home that didn't before?
A lot more.
A lot more.
But wait a second, guys. You need internet.
Yes,
you need broadband, and that's the other thing. And I don't know if you follow. Again, I'm gonna give a quick plug for the Comptroller. He was out 3 weeks ago talking about those broadband deserts that are out there throughout New York State, and the struggle that people are. Again, we're very lucky.
How about Kingston and Ulster County?
Right. We're very lucky, you know. Again, so think about that. Yeah, we can solve a lot of the problems, but we have to think a lot larger.
Yeah.
We can't be myopic in our thought and know. Quite honestly, I'm sure Spectrum will probably cut my service tomorrow, but I think that broadband should be almost like a public service, a public utility. You know, it's so necessary now.
Yeah. And these days, it is.
Right.
It's a part of the infrastructure.
So think about that. You know, you know, there's a lot that's going to come along with it. We're going to look back at this time, of course, and learn from it, and hopefully we're learning on the job as I speak. I sent 300 of my folks home, March 2020. I watched what it did and how our folks worked, quite honestly, harder at home, I think, than in the office. I lost 2 people to COVID, so I know what kind of impact that has on, but I've seen people step up and pivot very quickly and be very successful.
I mean, look, these are challenging times, there's no doubt, and I think there's great opportunity now for creative actions and solutions. Never before in our history have we had these kind of resources to the table, and there are folks that are, you know, less fortunate. But that's, you know, the public policy issues that have to be addressed.
Correct.
What do we do about the least fortunate?
Correct.
What do we do about the folks that can't access the workplace system? But we've never had this kind of opportunity, if you think about it, coming out of the pandemic to reconstruct or grow anew. And a guy like Pat Ryan, how many counties have a West Point trained county executive?
Oh no, I agree with you, and we are so lucky. We are, and with a leadership quality and a style that and I deal with a lot of county executives. I got my friend across the river, Mark Molinaro, another guy who was pivoted and taken control quickly. Down in Westchester, it's George Latimer. You know, I'm out in Rockland. I'm down.
In Orange County.
Yeah.
Good guy.
So again, we're watching these leaders who have these profiles in courage, who have stepped up and stepped forward. I will tell you this, though, the one thing that I'm hoping comes out of this pandemic, and I'm not as hopeful as I thought I should be, is that both sides of the aisle come together and figure out how to work together. You know, I think of the Rich Matthews story that I once heard, and I probably told you. You know, standing up, having a big fight on the floor of the legislature with this young upstart Democrat, who he then went out with across the street and had a beer, and that's what we're missing right now. There's this animus and this.
It's so polarized,
and
now
personal, right?
I've not been I have no expertise in politics. I've not been following it until I was, until it was, in my face a lot, right? So, I mean, from the inside looking at it, have you ever seen it this polarized in your career?
I really haven't, and maybe I just didn't look. But
I'm feeling is polarized.
Right, I'm feeling that there is this anger, this animus, and something that I've not experienced, and I'm kind of hoping that it gets tamped down. Although, like I said, I'm not as hopeful as I should be. I do see, though, and again, I hate to shamelessly plug this guy, but I do see people like the person I work with, Tom DiNapoli, who's out there, who's loved and beloved by everyone because he respects who he's working with, regardless of what the letter is after your name. I'll tell you another person on a local level who's like that. That's Nina Postapak.
Oh, yeah.
Nina Postapak is the same type of individual where it's not, are you a Republican or a Democrat? It's how can I help you? That's what we're missing.
Job description is the same, right?
Correct. So, and I feel that with Pat Ryan. I think that's what we're missing. We're missing the fact that, yes, politics rears its ugly head once a year right around November, if you follow what I'm saying, but otherwise. So now that I've pontificated and Tony's getting nervous, I'm probably going to be spinning off a few other radio shows.
That's right.
But
you can shop around. Tony's not the only game.
Right, I know.
Exactly.
I'm looking to syndicate.
Do that. Yeah.
I will tell you that I was in Delaware. I did a radio show in Delaware County last week. I appreciated the fact that there were probably 3 people and about 27 cows that listened to the show. No, it's nice to get out.
Probably gave more milk. So
we're kind of Margaretville, isn't it?
I went to Andes.
The Andes Hotel is very.
Oh my God!
I'll tell you, the other place that's cool is there's another Roxbury, Roxbury Hotel, which apparently one of Dominica Murray, who works in my office, she and her husband went up there. They have like these. It's just a cool little Hollywood set up there.
That's what
there's
it's
all
interesting.
kinds of different theme rooms.
And let me say this to you: that there's a lot of transplanted New Yorkers up in Delaware County. I went to Bovina.
Okay.
So anyway, Lawrence is going to break.
We got to go to break.
He's getting
Elliott Auerbach. Thank you very much for joining
us.
Thanks for all the good you do throughout New York State.
Well, thank you guys for having me. It's great to be here.
Not what you signed up for either.
Yeah.
All right, Lawrence, take it away.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
There was this one time I went snorkeling in the Caribbean when I was a kid. It really just blew my mind. We saw the most beautiful corals. I remember thinking they were waving at us as they moved with the ocean. And then there were all these amazing fish. I'll never forget it. It completely changed the way I look at the ocean.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. We are a global force for good. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. We can do more together than we can alone. Join in. Experience the joy of serving. Be part of the movement. Give back. Let's unite the world for good. We are Lions. You can be too. Visit weserve.org.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
This is the story of Daniel, who was born 2 months early. His lungs weren't ready. His heart wasn't ready. His parents could only hope that one day he would leave the hospital healthy, and they would all live happily ever after. Daniel's is just one of the more than 500,000 stories of babies born prematurely last year. You can help the March of Dimes stop premature birth and bring more babies home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.com. Working together for stronger, healthier babies.
Hi, my name is Jackie Lovezzo. I'm from Lake Katrine, and I support the Kingston Community Radio because it is an invaluable resource to the community and its residents.
A powerful community bank is one that has leaders that are involved in their community. At Rondout Savings Bank, they invest in the success of our community by working side by side with local people and local businesses. When you choose to bank Rondout, you are part of a bank that is dedicated to the future of your success and the success of your community. Rondout Savings welcomes you to open an account today and discover what it means to be part of a powerful community bank, one that knows you by name. Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and our community, with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park, also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Else running it.
Okay, folks, we're back. This is Thunder Thursday, and we're joined by our Italian friends, Anna Brett and Les Lombardi. But first, we need to do birthdays.
Oh, it's not mine.
Yeah.
No.
But we did mention your birthday is on
It's coming
Election
up.
Day, Anna Brett, this year,
That's
isn't
right.
it?
Yes.
I know that. My partner in crime is out, I don't know, cutting a deal with Elliott Auerbach out there. Maybe he'll eventually come back in when he realizes we're on the radio. Anyway, so I'm going to ask Anna and Les to participate, please.
Sure. Here he comes.
And here comes the missing link.
At least he's not talking about my weight.
Okay, Anna, you can start out, please.
Okay, so we have a birthday today, Thursday, October 7th, and we're wishing a happy birthday to Jack Williams from all your friends at the Lunch of Bunchers.
Okay, all right. And Les?
Oh, another birthday today, a Thursday, a 60th. I don't know if we should say that, but a 60th birthday. Who's counting to Cheryl Lynn Van Valkenburg.
Oh, nice.
And from your friends and family, her husband Tom, her children Joel, Megan, Seth, and Philip. And wow, grandsons Landon, Alana,
Wow.
and Lucas. So she's got the whole
That's
family
got the
involved.
whole crew there.
Happy birthday, Cheryl.
Great. And Guy?
I have happy birthday to Darcy Utter from your friends at the Orville Norman Wall Walkers Coffee Clutch.
You know, I saw that group there. I was getting my hair cut at CNC Hair, one of the Italian Festival sponsors, by the way. And so a lot of folks, you know, gathering. There was nobody shopping, by the way.
Okay.
Only walking, only mall walking.
And Orville was at the head.
And, oh, God bless him, rest his soul.
Yes.
So the winner of the delicious cow pie from Boyce Dairy Milk House, 62 O'Neill Street is... That's an homage to Orville, by the way. He used to do that.
Nice.
Is Darcy Utter.
I got a winner. It's
And
the
that's
first time I ever had a winner.
The Italians say buon compleanno, right? Happy birthday. And speaking about that, it's 4 Italians at the table here. This is scary.
Only half
I did.
Italian.
That's okay.
3.5 Italians.
We don't go there.
Oh, yeah, don't go there with me.
there.
I'm 100%, so
Yeah,
we're okay.
So Anna Brett, who's the chairperson of the Italian Festival, which is coming up this Sunday, and our president, Les Lombardi, welcome to you both.
Thank you very much, Tony. It's a
having
pleasure
us.
to be here.
Thanks for being on here. I know you've all been doing the radio circuit. This is
That's right.
this
Many,
is,
many stations.
So we're happy to have you on Kingston Community Radio. And Anna, do you want to start off telling
Sure.
folks about the festival?
Well, Tony, we have the 14th annual Italian Festival coming up this Sunday, October 10th, from 11 a.m. in the morning to 8 p.m. at night, with entertainers, vendors. We have all kinds of things going on. Children's tent, lots of fun for the whole family. So we're really looking forward to a great day.
And the location is?
Down on the Strand,
Right.
right on the beautiful waterfront there. And hopefully we'll have some boaters coming in. We'll have people coming in from all places.
And
So-
they don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about parking. Is that right? You have
Well, parking is always
it's always an issue.
an
But
issue.
you have a
challenge,
shuttle? You
but
have shuttles where
yeah.
people
I don't know
can,
if Les, you want to talk about the shuttles?
Yep, we have shuttles from the Kingston Plaza, another sponsor of UCIF.
Right,
And
Jordan
then
family.
shuttle also from
Little Italy at the parking lot, municipal parking lot,
Cornell Street.
another sponsor of ours.
Right.
And Kingston Point, they're not a sponsor, but they're going to.
But Kingston is.
Well,
the
City of Kingston is, yes.
Well, there
But
you
they're
go.
going to handle any of the handicapped people. We have a special bus so they can put the wheelchairs on.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Come in the back way. So there's 3 shuttles, and they're provided by the county, and we're hoping they'll be
Right.
filled up and keep moving rapidly.
Yeah.
And they run on a regular basis, so, you can get down there
Right,
whenever
and
you
there's
can.
plenty of parking where the shuttles are, so
That's
there's no
correct.
worries there.
Yeah. So it works
great.
well. Yep.
Let's see. So, do you want to talk about some of the entertainment that might be
Yes, we have a very nice lineup of people, thanks to Frank Casharo,
Yes,
our entertainment person. We're going to start out with our opening ceremonies at 11, and then we have Angela Bruno, who was with us in the past, Vincent Chiarelli, who also has been with us, and then we have a spaghetti eating contest.
I've heard of this.
It's just great. And
World
Leanne
renowned.
Marmo is one of our biggest contenders. So, not
She's
biggest, but,
Most
If she does this on a regular
She's
basis,
very
she will be.
enthusiastic.
Yes.
Right. She's going to try to go
And
for the
I
crown.
would-
She's been in training
She's
for
been
weeks.
in training.
Well, the I don't know, the urban legend about this is she's being forced by her husband to do this. She doesn't even like spaghetti.
And she's not Italian. I mean,
Right.
what's this about?
And she's asking to cut it up, not twirl it.
But that's being run by Anthony and Debbie Tampone, and they would like people to sign up ahead of time. So to do that at the children's tent by 1:30. And there are prizes. It's a $50 gift card and a very unique trophy that they make. So that's fun. And then we have Andrew Hoban, who is just
Kingston
loved by
native.
everyone. Yes. And he's got such a beautiful voice. So he's coming on, and he's been with us for, I think, 4 out of 5 festivals.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then we
I think maybe
Every
since the
He
get
missed
since
one.
he might have. Yeah, because he was
When
away.
he was
You're right.
at college.
Yeah, you're
or
right. He was away at
something.
college.
Yep. But he holds
Beautiful
a record.
voice. Yes.
And then we have Vanessa Racci, who is coming to us from New
Vanessa's-
York, and she's appearing on some kind of television program
Yeah,
or something we
yeah,
got to email on. So,
Right,
and then we
right.
have a puppet show, first time ever, of the Grand Theater of the World with Amy Trumpeter. Yeah, so that'll be nice for little children to see.
will.
And me. I like puppet shows. And then we have the world champion acoustic accordion player, Corey Pesaturo. I guess he's famous. I don't know him, but I guess he's...
In the world of accordion, I am sure that he is.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then we finish up the evening with Michael Dell and his orchestra, which
Nice.
is always a wonderful ending, and he brings a full orchestra, so it's really a
And what
a great
time you said it to end the show, and what time does everything come to a close?
At 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
And then at 8 p.m. also, I think there's a special performance at the end
That's right.
in the dark.
We have a fire breather.
The other Corey.
Not Tony Marmo. Even though by that time he might be breathing fire, but
I'll be barely breathing by then.
I hesitate to say it, but there's a difference between fire breathing and dragon breath. They sound similar, but there's a difference.
Thank you.
and his name is Corey Glover, and
Yeah.
he has been with us in the past also.
Yeah,
and
he's great.
it's very
Fire
exciting
breather.
to see.
That is
yeah.
exciting.
The best thing, though, is 2 years ago, we keep saying last year, but,
2019.
pre-COVID,
Yeah,
2019, Michael Dell's orchestra had not everybody, but there were 50 to 60 people up dancing.
That's
at
great.
the end. And it was great to see in
That
Kingston.
is.
All, as
And
we
we
say,
need this.
all ages. Yes.
We need
Yes.
it. We need this. We need this badly.
Yeah.
Just a chance to forget what your problems are, to forget everything that people
Yep.
are going through. A little taste of normalcy,
Yeah, just have a nice
to dance
time.
and have a
Right.
wonderful time,
What a
forget your
perfect
problems.
segue.
We really need that.
Speaking about taste,
Yes.
let's talk about the food.
Let's.
Of course.
Let's-
Besides the 3 pounds of spaghetti that you
Right. This is a food festival and a music festival. Let's talk about the
And
food.
we have vendors, and thanks to Stephanie Reginato from Reginato's Restaurant,
Great
who
job.
really pulled this whole thing together. We have lemonade, and we have sausage and peppers, of course, from Mariners, and we have Frankie's French fries, but he's also doing
Italian style, right?
little yes, pizza fries and nachos and that kind of stuff. And Guido's frozen desserts. We have Graziano from Downtown Cafe. He will be doing some meatballs and rice balls.
Getting
And
hungry, guy, Greg.
I really
salivating.
I haven't had breakfast.
I'm waiting for the desserts.
I don't think I'm the only one getting
No,
hungry.
I know.
He's been picking on me all morning.
And we have cupcakes, and we have lemonade stuff, and Bella Foods doing mozzarella sticks and jumbo pretzels and fried shrimp. So we have a little bit of everything. And the Reginatos will also be there, and they're doing cannolis and creme brulee. And we have one person selling sauces, so that's very wonderful. You could take away things.
It's Rick Orlando.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I know Rick.
I'm
He
back
used to
with
have
his whole
the
collection.
World
Restaurant. Yeah.
World home cooking, something like that.
I used to play at his places. It was great food.
Saugerties area.
And we have ice cream and frozen treats and barbecue stuff. So we really have a little bit of everything. And then we have some craft vendors, too. So,
That sounds great.
Should be fantastic.
Yeah.
Ken, let's talk about the honorees this year. Right?
Yeah, well, this year was a tough decision, but we have Mary Tuma, the Energizer Bunny, is our Senora of the Year.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and she's not up yet because I don't have any text or email. Okay. And then Bill Calderera,
that's fantastic.
who's like the quiet guy behind the scenes, but just gets it done. The joke at UCIF is he taught Tony and I that budget isn't a rental car company, and there's ins and outs and categories. And then we have two really community supporters, people who've really stepped up recently. Bob Siracusano for years up in Saugerties helping just about anybody that needs it, the Boys and Girls Club, the high school, and community events up there. And Joe Conkra, our partner in crime, who is the founder of the O Positive Festival, which kicks off Friday night in Kingston, and they're starting off with a parade, which we will have a UCIF group in.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
then Stephanie and Kevin Reginato, who for the last 4 or 5 years have really stepped up. We do a movie series at the restaurant during the summer, and when we needed somebody to come up with the vendors, Stephanie jumped in, and she's done a remarkable job. We have over 40 vendors now, which during this post-COVID time is remarkable.
Yes, it is.
It really
Yes,
is. It really is. So, again, let's talk about the times and when people can show up. And did someone say it's a free event?
It is a free event. Speaking of that, because we have all kinds of sponsors that help us make it a free event. And maybe you could mention some of the sponsors, Les?
Yeah, well, I should mention that. I mean, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And Tony, Nina, and Marianne raised over $40,000 in sponsorships, which is amazing in itself.
Amazing.
And one of our biggest ones, of course, is Mezza Corona, who's coming through with product for the festival.
What's really a festival without wine? Wine?
That's right.
And then we have, what we call our anchors, the Reese Group, Ulster Savings, Color Page, Anna and Ken Brett. The list goes on, and we're going to do great. Tony's arranged for great signage down at the festival, and it's going to all
Campagna's
be up on
Color Page has done an amazing job, and
And
Brian Daly has an amazing job putting together.
It's all going to be up on our website as well as the schedule. We should mention there's a second stage, what we're calling the street stage, and we have a lot of local talent performing there. At 1 o'clock, Bruce Gonzo, who works at Color Page. 2 o'clock, P. Santoro's back.
One of the original Beatlemania guys.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Back in the day.
Yes. And then 3 o'clock, Vince Chiarelli. We can't get enough of him. This guy comes in from the Midwest, and he's doing like 3 sets for us, but on an acoustic
talented.
guitar. He's amazing. He really is. And then 4 o'clock, Andrea Shout and family. And then 5 o'clock, we're important, a Dutchess County performer, Tal Nacarado, who's coming up from Kipsey. So
the right name at the end.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A lot of vowels, a lot of Nacarados.
He's a cousin to the local Nacarado.
Yeah. And then on top of that, we have street performers. Nick Collins, who's been there in the past, will be playing his accordion. Not as famous as Corey Pezzatoro, but
you might pick up a couple of pointers from Corey.
Yeah, and then Earl Pardini and his friends, acoustic artists. And then, of course, Corey Glover will be making the rounds, as we talked about earlier, and closing out the show as our fire breather. So I'm telling you, Sunday from 11 to 8 down on the Strand, it will be an extravaganza.
It sounds fantastic. Now, I know that Mid-Hudson Valley is a proud sponsor of this
Yes.
event.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
The list just keeps going. Nacarado Insurance, Michael's Diner, Sawyer Motors,
Norman Staffing.
Roundout Savings. I mean, this could be a show in itself.
Well, we're paying in lira, but
Yeah, right.
Lira is like 20,000 for $1.
But the amazing thing is, and I think that everybody has to realize it, last year we just had a mini festival. We had a drive-in, and this is like the coming out, as you said.
Full-fledged. It's just...
John Hoy is so excited. He's texting and emailing every day, and I think we're ready for it.
I think we're more than ready for it.
We were down on the Strand yesterday, and one of the cruise boats wants to come back on Sunday.
Right. That would be fantastic.
For the festival,
Yeah.
So I said, next year, put it in your schedule, so...
Yeah. Can we also mention there's some in-kind sponsors, I think, that sometimes don't get enough print, because it's not in dollars, but in services and so maybe can you just mention some of those folks?
Well, Color Page.
Color
Frank
Page
has
is
just been outstanding.
phenomenal.
And I should mention he's pulling off a miracle, and we'll have our 2022 calendar on Sunday, and a lot of work's going into that. And this year's going to be fabulous. We're featuring what we did during COVID. We'll still have the recipes like last year, and we're really honoring all the people that make UCIF go. And I think that's really, really important.
Right.
And then, we have the city of Kingston, we have Ulster County. These people step up. They get tired of answering our phone calls, but we couldn't do it without
Tony Roser's been great with the UCAT.
Yeah, with
and
the buses.
Pat Bono,
Lieutenant Pat Bono, yep.
We have the radio stations who've really helped us promote this. And we went over to an event a couple nights ago in Rhinebeck, and everybody in Rhinebeck even knows about the festival. And I said, well,
Right.
that's all part of the deal. So Tony's right. And then, when you think about it, it's not so much the dollars because they get recirculated back in the community, but it's just the support showing that, this is going to be a great event. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's. I want to mention Magic 92.5, which is what we're broadcasting on right now.
Morning, yes.
And Don Verity has been great putting on promotions for us, and I'm going to be on tomorrow morning with Bob Miller at I want to say 8:40 or 8:35, something like that. Just a quick live announcement about the festival, so that's great. SAS Electric, who provided us the boom truck to yesterday to get the flags up, and that's great. Nick Tiano, who's hooking up all the juice and make sure everyone, all the bands have enough electric to do that. And County Waste has donated the container for refuse that we do. And we want to put in, because this is an 11th hour, not published, but we want to mention Twofskill.
Yes, Andrew Connors.
Thank you to them for... so everybody kind of pitches in and makes this a community festival is really what it is, right? It's the Italian festival, but it's a community coming together.
Sometimes somebody has to drive the car. We're going to make this a bus and get everybody on it. It might not be a UCAP bus, but
absolutely.
There's something about community events and people getting out. And I think one of the things about this is people look forward to it.
Oh, it's become a tradition. It really has.
Yeah, and I got to thank Tony and Anna, because these guys have been doing it for years, and it's just one of those things that builds, and it's built to the point now where people put it in their schedules, and I really want people to come out to the opening ceremonies at 11 o'clock when we honor people. I know it's a little tough, but we'll have coffee this year. We've already made all the arrangements.
Oh, and also the Bruderhof.
Oh,
we have not mentioned them.
That's
the
wonderful.
Bruderhof is just wonderful. They help with volunteers, plus they're doing our hospitality tent.
That's all they do is help.
Yes, and they do it very quietly and unassumingly.
And it's all a phone call. It's not
that's
like,
all. Yeah, we'll be there.
And it's I can't believe that it's grown enough that we even gave Andrew Connors a shout out. I can't believe it's come to this.
No, it's
so
really
it is the
a labor
community
of love,
working. Yep,
and what you'll see on Sunday is the product of a lot of hard work by a lot of people, giving up time, and that's what community festivals are all about. And we talked about the Italian heritage in this community, the Irish heritage, the German heritage. We're all of the same. we come from different cultures, but we're really all the same, and we share our cultures, and I think that's what makes it great.
It is. How wonderful is it that we have all these cultures here?
Absolutely. There'll be plenty of seating, by the way.
All these foods.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Plenty of seating. There'll be a tent, right? We'll have a tent where folks can...
Lots of tents,
Lots
yes.
of tents, and
we have lots of tables, too, this year.
Lots of tables.
So,
that's great.
And we have lots of chairs.
Yeah, so we're all set.
So we need lots of people, you know what I mean?
Right. To fill it.
But we've almost created like a little piazza out in front of the wine and beer tent.
Yeah.
And, it's great. We'll have entertainment there on both ends of the festival.
Yep.
And then the other thing is that sometimes we overlook this, but the children's tent.
Yes.
I mean, the kids come and they're just fascinated
Tampone.
what they do with
they do a
Mona
great
Lisa
job.
and the face coloring and all the things, and the world-renowned spaghetti eating contest, which people call and want to know what time's the spaghetti eating
So
contest.
it's very family friendly. There's
Yes, it
something
is.
for everyone to do
Yes.
when they get there.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I think that's the key. I think you have to realize there's something there for everyone. So
Thank all of our volunteers, right? That
Yeah, a lot of people come out to help us out, and Gina Satile, a member, does this. She puts it all together, and
she picked up 3 or 4 last night, and we're probably close to 40 volunteers, which is the
And
largest we've ever had.
give a shout out. Anybody else that wants to
Yes,
help
right.
us, come on down. The more the merrier.
There's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to mention is our friends at O Positive. They're putting on the festival this same weekend, starting tomorrow night, and the Italian Foundation is going to be walking, marching, waving flags, whatever we're going to be doing. As part of that kickoff, that parade starts at, I want to say 5:30 out of the
Kingston area, the library.
And
the actual kickoff's going to be at 6, but they want everybody there
They're a
to
little early.
register and lined up, and
Right.
so that's the kickoff, and then we're honoring Joe, and
Right. Right.
Tony, he says he's going to be there.
No,
So-
yeah, no,
he told
I
me
know.
that too. He
says
told
he's
me
gonna
that
be driving.
too.
I talked to him yesterday, last evening. He's going to be driving up in a very special Italian car.
Yes,
that apparently
yes.
is about as big as a Cracker Jack box.
And it's,
it's a little thing.
does it have a name? Is it like the Spaghetti-O Positive?
Maybe. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, guy. Oh, I like that. I have to tell Joe that. And then Saturday we're going to be selling for donations sausage and peppers in the courthouse parking lot, where they're going to have some vendors. So we're trying to get a little closer, right? With O Positive,
Yes.
it's the same festival
Yes.
weekend, and a
Yeah,
lot of
they're
people.
also going to be set up to do vaccines, because we were going to do vaccines down at our
Right.
festival, but
Oh,
they're
well,
going
that's
to be
great.
set up on Saturday and Sunday. Ulster County Health Department's going to be giving booster shots and regular
Oh, great.
vaccines. So
Right.
Good.
Yeah, and again, mentioning that, we'll be following whatever protocols come out, the government issues in our city and county, and so we'll be providing a safe festival. I think folks come.
there's a lot of space. Like the footprint
Ton of
has got,
space.
the
Ton of space.
footprint's gotten bigger, and yesterday Frank Campagna, Stephanie, and John Rickey, they spread out the booths
Right.
and vendor areas. So we're prepared. We put the food all over by the Maritime Museum, and
Right.
up by the gazebo will be all the crafts and people selling their merchandise. So there's going to be plenty of room. You won't be on top of each other.
We want to mention also, I think, the Savona family and the Guido family for
Oh, yes.
all their support.
All their
Dave
support,
Amato.
yeah. And
Dave
Dave
Amato
Amato from
stepped
Old
up.
Savannah. Yep.
Absolutely. And so, it's a great group of folks that come together, and all the good works. Please talk about what the foundation does with the proceeds.
Yes. The foundation gives out educational awards every year, and they also provide grants to community groups. So we have given out over $64,000 in educational awards
It's amazing.
over the past 5 years.
$4,000.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
a lot of
done
money.
$5,000 in the last 2 years of community grants, and about 18 months ago, with the inception of COVID, Mary Tuma coordinates our community care program, and we've given out over $9,000 of regular UCIF donations to people through the county and different agencies that really needed help during COVID.
So while it's an ethnic organization, it really tries to take care of the community. We try to take care of the community,
Everyone,
right? And preserve the Italian traditions and culture. The Educational Awards program, which you chair, Anna. To just tell people a little bit about that. We only have a couple minutes, but
we give out educational awards to seniors in Ulster County, and they apply. They fill out an application, and they have to write an essay about what their Italian-American heritage means to them.
That's great.
And then
and
we
by
have
seniors, you don't mean people my age.
seniors in high school.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Yes, and we try to give it out in every school in the county, but not all apply. But we certainly. But every year
we're 90%.
Yes, yes, and we usually give out between 8 to 12 awards every year, so it's great.
That's terrific.
And then we have
amazing thing is Anna and her crew pulled this all off during COVID. No, really, during
that's no
COVID,
small
we
feat.
still did it.
Right.
And
get these kids to apply when they weren't in school.
It was just
all right. So
everything was such.
We have about a minute or so.
Okay.
Let's give a quick recap, please, about time, place,
Okay,
date.
so it's the 14th annual Italian Festival down at the Strand, starting at 11 a.m. in the morning with opening ceremonies and ending with Michael Dell and his orchestra at 8 p.m. at night. And that's when it gets cold and chilly, and dark.
We have the fire breather. We have the fire
We have the fire
We have the
breather,
fire
yeah.
breather. That's why we got that guy.
Yeah,
We stop by each fire pit to get it started. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and buses will be running from 3 different areas in Kingston, so you can get there by any method that you possibly
And if
can
you're
come
looking
by.
for the complete schedule or if you're looking for shuttle information, go to our website, uciaf.org, or our Facebook page, because all the information is up, including the new videos on our Signora and Signora,
Mary
which
Tuma,
are really
Bill
great.
Calderera,
Yeah,
great.
the videos are great.
You
So-
sang your rosary beads on the clothesline, so we have some good weather. There's a little.
Yeah, it looks,
Thank you, Anna, Ken, and
That's okay.
Anna Brett.
That's-
I say Anna,
Half.
Ken, it comes out in the other.
Yes.
Automatic.
And Guy, we let him in, even though he's Irish. He's in our organization.
I'm half Italian.
He's going to be in the beer and tent booth with Dr. Yoya. And thank you, President Les Lombardi, for all you two do for the organization and for the community.
Well, thank you, Tony, for all you do, too.
We're all on this together.
Yep.
All right, Lawrence, take it away.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
To battle is to fight, to struggle, to overcome, and ultimately for the Marine Corps, it means to win. There is no alternative. It's not just a statement of intent. It's a promise to our nation. A promise kept for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
Do the intro.
This is Tony Marmo, and this.
Oh, no, come on.
What
happened to the Thunder Thursday?
I didn't get there yet.
Okay.
I was taking my Tony Marmo time.
Okay.
No, you need to do this, Tony.
This is,
I can't pretend to be you.
Well, this is Guy Greco. Happy to be here today, co-hosting with Tony Marmo. No, we're
That's right.
But you are listening to Thunder Thursday on Kingston Community Radio, and we're joined by the amazing, fantastic, intelligent, beautiful
Italian
Lisa Moriello Berger.
Woohoo! For the Italian festival, you've become hyphenated. Is that
that's it. That's it. Maybe I'll adopt that.
There you go.
There you go.
It's catchy.
It's catchy.
It's a long name, but I can do it.
So I'm going to give you a little intro here, or I've been receiving calls from people outside of this community, Long Island, Jersey, that want to come to the Italian festival. So the tourism piece of this, with all these festivals, talk about that, Lisa. What your thoughts are?
Yeah, I think that that this festival has built through word of mouth. You guys have done a fantastic job.
Right.
You did it exactly the right way, right? You started small,
Right.
and each year you added something else.
Right.
And so now, at the point where people are ready to come back and do things, just listening to your last two guests about the fantastic, the fantastic lineup, all the things that you guys have planned, the food that you've brought in, and let's face it, this is an Italian festival. People are there for the food, the food and the music, right? I mean,
Well, Tony tried to make it seem that like I was the only one interested in food.
Oh,
that's far from the case.
I know that's far from the case. But I think that it's built its own reputation, and without a doubt, this is probably the busiest weekend of visitation for the county.
I would say.
And so I am not surprised that you're getting phone calls from Long Island, northern New Jersey. We see more from Pennsylvania, more and more out of Pennsylvania. You're going to be playing people out of the Albany area where there's a big Italian community, and there's a big population there, and certainly the other side of the river, there, in Dutchess County and whatnot, there are lots of people of Italian descent, and let's not forget the town of Lloyd.
Yeah. Whoa. Yes. A lot of Italians down in town of Lloyd.
And Marlboro. And in Marlboro. You can't forget that either. So I'm not at all surprised, and it's really important to our visitation that these kind of events bring people up, because they want to spend the whole day there, and nobody wants to trek back 3 hours to Long Island when it's over.
Right.
In all that traffic.
And on the heels of the Garlic Festival last weekend, which was another huge event, right?
That was amazing. So on day one, they did 15,000 people.
Holy crow.
That's incredible.
And then it demand, I'm telling you.
In one day?
In one day. And then it rained the next day, but they were probably on pace to do about 10.
Wow.
And they sold out of food the first day. I don't know if anybody told you that. A bunch of places sold out of food there. They just didn't anticipate. They didn't anticipate it. But people are dying to come back, which I think is great for this weekend up here.
Right.
And even though you and I have the rosary beads hanging from
the weather holds off a little bit for us. Look, it's a rain or shine event. We hope that it's shining, or at least cloudy, and no precip. But we do. We're ready. We're going. Whether it's
Well, we know people are coming. So I am able to tell by like a whole lot of data that we receive in that our weekends in October were basically sold out at the end of August.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting a completely booked weekend. You guys have been talking about O Positive, which brings in a whole nother set of people, whole nother crowd. And then the way it's kind of worked out with fall foliage, we still haven't really hit peak yet, which is perfect for day trippers, within that like distance, like Westchester County, to come on up. and spend the day. And so I think that this weekend's going to be terrific in Ulster County, and there's tons to do. And I definitely have my fingers crossed for your event. It's funny, the local weather is not showing it as being a rain out.
Yeah.
New York City's showing it as a rain out.
Right.
And
right.
people have already made their plans.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to come one way or the other, and they're going to be looking for something to do.
Yeah, what I
never kill it.
Yeah, exactly. What I heard this morning, it all depends on a storm system that's out in the Atlantic. If it turns left, we're going to get it. If it turns right, we're going to be fine. So
wide right.
Let's go right.
Wide right. There you go.
Yeah. There's another. I thought there was another event also this weekend, but I haven't seen or heard anything because I think it's strictly an out-of-town event. At Hutton Brickyards, is it Farm and Supply or something and Supply or
Field and Supply is doing one of their makers market.
Okay.
So they've marketed that pretty much to the people who they've marketed it really to the people who've been at Hutton, to the people who used to go to Smorgasburg.
Right.
So that's kind of that market. And then other event that's going on this weekend is Kingston Design House Kingston, which is a bunch of very talented interior designers who've moved up here. They took a house that the City of Kingston Land Bank operated, and they've gone in and renovated and designed, as in like a perfect design for now, the inside of the house, and it's open for a walkthrough, and you can, see what they've done and get design ideas and things like that. And that's happening this weekend too. So there's a ton
going
going
to get a
on.
hotel space in Kingston this weekend. You're out of luck. You're really out of luck. I mean, I was checking for some. One of my employees had some friends visiting from Michigan, somewhat unexpectedly. Last Friday night, we were trying to get a hotel room. By the way, the rates have gone up. I can tell you that.
I know it has.
Yeah,
they're almost outrageous.
They are
no matter where you.
Almost $300 a night.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, there you go, Tony.
I was like, I'm not kidding. $300
anywhere,
for a Kingston hotel.
Anywhere in Kingston.
Look, I
big
get
home,
it.
don't you, Tony?
What's that?
You have a big home.
Oh yeah, we have probably 8 or 10 bedrooms that we can release those out, and whenever Leanne's not around.
Your number?
Yeah, whenever Leanne's not around. That's so true.
No. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it that, maybe there's limited hotel spaces now these days, and they got hammered during the pandemic.
Hammered is right.
Hammered. So
the weddings are back.
Weddings are back.
That's one of the factors, Tony. So weddings are back. People waited, and I think I had this conversation with you guys before, where we all during the pandemic we were like, well, maybe there's a new trend in weddings, and they're only going to be small and they're going to be intimate and blah blah. And the minute that those restrictions were lifted, I think they've gotten bigger, and now everybody is like, I need this person here and that person here, and everybody needs to be here, and it's crazy.
We help. Norman Staffing helped supply staff to a local venue. There was a 400 to 500 people there.
Yeah, easily.
At the wedding. 400 to 500 people for like 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled by all of this.
Yeah.
I understand it can be a little much and all, but I'm just so happy. How depressed I was when I didn't play for that.
Yeah, I know.
There's more venues. There's more music going on. People are getting.
You were looking at the great abyss, looking down and saying,
it was just awful.
Yeah, Guy, I agree with you. Wow, one of the big things coming out of this pandemic, one of the big trends that we've seen, is this desire for people to go out and listen to live music.
Yeah, forget about their troubles for an hour or so.
Right, they can't get enough of it. And it's so interesting that you said, there are more venues than there have been, and you're right, and they're in every size. They're all different kinds of places. I mean, everybody from local farms who are putting up, who are having music on the weekends.
And it's not competing with any of the festivals here, but I'm playing a festival this weekend way up in Wyndham, up in the mountains.
Oh, nice.
Right? People, they're out, they're enthusiastic, they've been,
cooped up.
Yeah, and it's no different anywhere than it's been here. It's one of those things that we all went through together. And we come out the other side, and everybody wants just a taste of normalcy. Just it becomes sweet. You know how when you leave this area and you come back
And
and you see all the green and you go like, wow, I never look around. How blessed am I to live? It's like that. You know.
So I was at an event last week that kind of speaks to the issue of there's a lot of opportunity in Kingston, Ulster County, for economic development.
Yeah.
And this is one of your previous hats, but it kind of ties into your current hat and 2 hats ago. So because I was thinking about the hotel space, and I'm saying, you know, we need more. We need we need more hotel space in this county for a variety of reasons. And the group I was with, I mean, they're all a lot of economic development folks and builders and investors, and these are folks that basically are looking at this county saying, yeah, this is prime based on all the demographics that have moved and changed.
And it's increased exponentially already from what it was 20 years ago.
It has.
And actually, and the clientele to a certain extent has changed, right?
Yeah.
So we were kind of this like rustic getaway, right? And that's really kind of what we sold. Even when I was in tourism, when I started my career in the county almost 15 years ago, that was what we sold, like the cabins and cottages and the camping. And we were an outdoor destination. That was what we were. You were coming here.
Off the grid.
Yeah. And here's the thing, and we still are off the grid. Yeah. We still have issues where it comes to like cell service, and that's in Mount Tremper, for God's sake. It's not even like it's not even like you're in Pine Hill.
In boonies.
But anyway, what's kind of changed is we're increasingly becoming known as a luxury brand.
Yeah.
The Kinsley opening up, Hutton opening up. We have a big opening expected in Gardner in summer of 2022, called the Wildflower Farms, and that's going to be an auberge resort, which auberge is the elite boutique, and they operate the most high-end boutique hotels in the world. Wow! And so that sets us.
I have never heard that word.
Oh, the auberge resorts.
No,
well, you know,
I've heard of resort,
you know,
resort.
The other word.
Well, you know, like there's the Hilton brand and there's the Marriott brand. Yeah. So auberge operates
Auberge, is that correct?
A restaurant somewhere around
Auberge. There was.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's a long time ago.
So so we're quickly like changing, and then a lot of, and I agree with you about the opportunity to build hotels right now, because a lot of our communities found especially during the pandemic, that Airbnbs were overwhelming their communities, and so, but we haven't built a major hotel in this county.
Well, Holiday Inn.
Well, Hutton, since Holiday Inn out in of a standard type, right?
Standard.
Like, not Hutton and not, Kinsley, not something like that. But
well, you know what I appreciate most of all is that you've spent the first 15 minutes setting me up to say, if you need to buy a home in the area or you want a commercial loan in the area, please call me at Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union.
Yeah, Guy Greco. My cell phone, here's my number. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. And the reason why the other hat that you used to wear comes up is because one of the potential restrictions on all this is available workforce. You can build it, but if you don't have folks to staff it, you got an empty shell. And it's interesting, I've been talking a lot recently about this, the number of reasons that the workforce is diminished. One that's not talked about a lot is that there's already economic development that's happened in the greater Hudson Valley, right? If you look at Legoland and look at I think Amazon is taking people. So there's already economic development that's happened, but not really talked about significantly. And so as other people try to expand or grow their business or keep their restaurant open, you don't have people.
Well, so those
away.
Those warehousing jobs, that used to be lousy warehousing jobs.
Right, not so much.
No, because now there's such a hub down in Newburgh. In one little area, you have you not only do you have Amazon, you have a FedEx extremely large facility, UPS. You have all these carriers who are now using they are now using Stewart for cargo. in a big, huge way.
Yeah, they're on what used to be their Christmas rush 365 days a year now.
Right, exactly. And you're 100%. And they're all competing for workers, and their wage went up.
And their wages went up, exactly.
Do you know, did they have any problem staffing Legoland and the newer things? Or is that
yes.
They did?
I would guess yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not like they're the big draw and that's why everybody else can't staff. Because they're having the same issue.
So, and Legoland actually operates from this interesting premise for employment. They actually look for people who are grandparents to employ. It's such an interesting thing. And the reason why is because these their model is set up so they're not really full-time jobs unless you're higher up in a supervisory role or in administration. And they're only in Orange County, they're going to only operate 9 months out of the year. And so in a lot,
you can go to Florida.
Exactly.
You get me for being overweight and now for my age? Is that what you're doing?
Well, they want grandparents, right? Because it's being overrun with 2-year-olds to 12-year-olds. Who thinks that those kids are cute? Grandparents.
I do.
And they usually have a skill set, a good attitude, and they're reliable.
Exactly.
They have to have you don't get to be a senior citizen without some skill set.
Right.
And staying alive.
Generally, unless you're like a grumpy old man.
Now this is a real opportunity. One was offered me and then pulled away at the same time. Just a few moments ago when I heard there were senior scholarships available, and I got very excited, and it turned out it's seniors in high school. It's ruined it for me. So you mean, when you say seniors, you mean people my age.
Now we're in your area.
All right. Now
Exactly,
I want to get my hopes up again just to be dad.
We've set him up perfectly today, twice, right? Like he's able to talk about his work at the bank, and now he can talk about
3 times because Tony keeps throwing food innuendos at me.
So I agree with you, Tony. The other problem that we're having is because the staff that is working is overwhelmed right now. And you must see that. You must see this, especially in healthcare too, right? They're burned out, and they've had enough of people being short-tempered. There's pressure points all along, and they are just exhausted. And then our hospitality businesses try to bring in a new worker. They're thrown into the middle of chaos. The old workers are screaming at them. The people coming in are screaming at them. And it's really bad. So it's so interesting because yesterday we had a great talk. It was economic development, tourism, the Small Business Development Center, and employment and training. And really
all the pieces.
Yeah. So actually, I had been talking to Tim for a long time about this. So it needs to be solutions need to be industry driven, to be honest. And you know this because who knows the healthcare system better than somebody who's in it and staffing people for it, right? You can't design solutions unless you're talking to the people who are that are in the trenches.
Absolutely.
And
end user is who knows best.
Right. So we're with a group of people who are in hospitality and through the tourism department, we're going to work on retention. We're going to work on training, and we're going to work on recruitment. And so, recruitment's such a big issue, because you're a recruiter, that we're going to leave that one off to the side right now and really focus on retention and training and see what that means. But one of the things that we're thinking about doing is just holding a meeting with people who aren't working now in the hospitality industry.
And ask them
why aren't
you? What happened?
Where do you find those folks? Plus, you have to probably give them a $50 gift certificate to show up.
A $25 Visa card.
Just
come here and give us your opinion.
Coffee and donuts.
Coffee and donuts are nothing. I'll give coffee and donuts.
I know that. No, it's
a great idea to have a focus group like that. And
it is a great idea.
And now
it's a great idea.
And now, because the seasons are changing again, a lot of, I guess initially it was because of COVID, but a lot of the service industry that went outside, moved outside, that wasn't typically their business model, they'll be moving back inside.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
It's so everybody's going to be still fighting for that staff in a different way. And now kids will be going back to school, right?
They're back.
Everybody's heading out again
in person. Yeah.
Yeah, and tastes in jobs and the ability to work and who wants to do what, all this changes with each generation, right? And the more that I read, about our generation. They basically say that we were slaves to jobs. I don't know about that. It was an expectation. You were gonna grow up. You were gonna get a job. You were gonna pay your bills.
Every generation has that feeling about the subsequent generation. You're lazy. You didn't work as hard.
That's been going on forever.
Right,
and every
right.
generation has a group of people that go like, "Yeah, I'm just going to play guitar."
Maybe I'll work at a bank.
Yeah, right.
Later on, when I'm 65, I'll get a real job.
So, speaking about the workforce issues, the international visas, seem like they just dried up in 2020 because of the pandemic. And I'm not sure that faucet has really reopened sufficiently because there's a ton of workers from Eastern Europe, South America that.
It's so true, and actually they were great feeder systems, and even from Ireland, right? There was a system that worked through. It's a U.S. State Department program actually, where people studying hospitality and tourism trades in Europe are able to come to this country, and that country that they came from is paying their wage while they're here. And so, yes, and so when you go down to Montauk, it used to be that all you would see were people of Irish descent
I've heard
working down there.
I didn't get the backstory.
Right.
On that. I see.
And now, if you go down there, you see an awful lot of people. Well, you used to see people from Eastern Europe, and now it's people who are And so, all those people are people who were studying in Europe some sort of hospitality, and they come here for 2 months, and they're paid by where they're studying. That's a great idea. So it's it's a model actually that the state tourism association is trying to work with New York State on, can we recreate that, and can we partner with Cornell University, NYU's hospitality
school.
So
here we started earlier talking about the great immigration of the 20s and 30s, Irish, Italian, German, Polish, all the ethnic groups. If we have a huge shortage at this point, and Americans don't want to work for a variety of or working remotely, and we have all these in-person necessary service jobs, is it not an opportunity, again, to have another wave of immigration? This is not political. This is purely economic. This is purely economic. Register them just like they did at Ellis Island. Check them in. We don't care what. We're going to take 10 million people in because we need workers.
We were having this conversation the other day, right? Exactly. And when you register them, you say to them, "Oh, and by the way, you're going to pay taxes on that."
Yeah, right.
You're paying taxes on those wages.
Look,
here
the Borriellos, the Grecos, the Marmos, they probably came through Ellis Island, and that's exactly what they said.
And here's the reasons they came. It was the land of opportunity. So isn't it now again the land of opportunity?
That's exactly where we're at.
Exactly.
And you want to stay home, and there's nothing wrong with being a graphic designer. The world needs graphic design. You want to do that remotely, you can do that. You can't remotely take care of somebody at a Mohonk.
No,
you can't.
You can't build bridges and roads. If we're gonna do a big infrastructure bill, you need people who can build bridges and roads. So and it was built on the backs of immigration labor, right? Our railroads, all of it was. So
Yeah, and let me see a robot serve me a scotch and water. I don't think that's happening. Is that happening? Is Will Smith around anywhere? I am 4 or whatever.
I would never put Scotch neat.
Scotch neat. Why messing around with water? Right, you're right about that.
And frankly, although I prefer a warm body serving it, a robot's okay. So
as long as it gets to them.
As long as there's one big ice cube in it and it's good Scotch, I'll live with it.
That caveat, it needs to be good Scotch.
Yeah, but no, and I'm serious about that because I'm not sure how this is going to go forward into 22. Are people going to change their habits and say, you know what? Yes, I'm ready to come back to the work world because they're there somewhere. They're there. They were here in 2019.
It's so interesting, and you must look at those numbers, right, Tony? That come through from the state. You actually can see it.
Absolutely,
we're missing about 5,000 workers.
That's correct.
That had been in the workforce prior to this.
Disappeared,
and we were adding people at the point that this happened. There were still more people coming back into the workforce. So I don't know. I think I've said this to you before, though. I think that one of the problems is this pandemic pushed out people who are about, I'm going to say from about 57 to 67.
Baby boomers.
Yeah, like those.
Retired,
yeah, they just decided.
Done with it. I got
I've
enough
had
money. I can figure it out, or I'll get a part-time job at Legoland.
Yeah, being a greeter. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So here's the thing. I'm very interested. Something's gonna happen, right?
Something has to happen.
It has to. I'm
happen.
very interested to see what it is. Now, people by and large don't like change, right? This was forced upon us.
It has to happen.
The only people that like change are babies. And panhandlers.
Right.
Right. So.
Right.
Is there such a thing that I call it? Did I just age myself?
No, panhandlers. No, I get it. No, I get it. I think that was a great one. Great line.
But I'm very interested to see how it's gonna.
Well, something has to give because
something's gonna give for sure.
There's pent up demand and not enough supply to take care of it. So prices are going to go up. You're seeing that already. But wage price is not a bad thing.
But
even where people that have to get out because they've been pent up so long, right?
Yeah.
But there isn't any service. I mean, something's got to settle in.
Give.
Even, and since you're on the workforce board, you know that, like, I'm going to say 5 years ago, right, we were training unbelievable numbers of CDL drivers. And it got to a point where we were all like, oh, my God, not another CDL, please. And the ships are sitting in port because we don't have CDL
and that's
drivers.
a worldwide issue. I read an article about it in the UK. There's a shortage of goods because they can't be delivered. They can't find truck drivers.
Company owner, 4 or 5 counties, those schools, begging for bus drivers, begging.
Yeah.
And schools have to, I thought he said somebody somewhere in Pine Bush closed because they didn't have enough bus drivers to get the kids to school.
So here's the end result. Here's how it manifests itself in my life. I put my granddaughter on the bus in the mornings. Not this morning because I'm on the radio, but normally. I get up and I put her on the bus. So the buses are later now, right?
Yeah.
You sit and wait later because there isn't enough drivers, so they're trying to work it out so they pick up more kids, they have more stops, and one thing leads to another thing, and there's a ripple effect with all of it.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, the kids don't care one way or the other.
They're kids.
They adapt.
Thank God.
They adapt.
Well, I mean, the thing is, tune in maybe May of 2022 and see where we're at.
We'll have a solution.
Come back in 5 or 6 months.
I hope I'm here still and not like Weekend at Bernie's. You don't walk me in and plop me down.
There is opportunity to be had, so let's keep at it. Lisa Berger, thank you so much for all you do. You wear so many great different hats in Ulster County, and you pull it all together and you communicate it so effectively. So thank you for what you're doing. Get out to the Italian Festival. God made umbrellas. If it is going to sprinkle, if it's not, we'll have some fun.
It only says 50% chance of rain, so let's.
I think
cross our fingers.
As long as 50% is not on the Strand, it can be up in
right. It could be
Woodstock.
50% in Midtown.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Not Wyndham,
by the way,
please.
weather people are like 50% wrong.
Exactly.
So
almost, like a 3-day forecast is almost.
That's about it.
Yeah,
that's about
if
it.
you can get that
see.
far.
We'll
so.
see.
Perhaps they could invent something that could, I don't know, orbit in space and help them. Or,
you mean a satellite?
There you go, Guy, right there.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
Why don't you do that? And then I'll
All right. Everybody be kind, be safe, go do a random act of kindness for somebody out there in this crazy-ass world that we live in. Please.
Can't say ass
help
on the radio.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Lawrence, take it away.